Today we're here to discuss redefining lifestyle hotels in the Airbnb era. I'd like to introduce our panelists today. So we have Anki, who's the General Manager of Vida Downtown Dubai. We have Michelle, who is the Area Manager for Starwood in Abu Dhabi and the General Manager of Aloft Abu Dhabi. And we have Prachun, who's the Vice President of Sales for Dusit International.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So my first question for you today is, have lifestyle hotels become homogenous, in your opinion?
Ladies, start.
The standpoint on they're not becoming homogeneous. It's the spaces might be very similar, but I think the experiences are varying. And with lifestyle, you basically adjust to your customer. It's what the customer makes out of it. The spaces may be similar, but it's the overall experience. What I think it makes the great experience of a lifestyle property.
Yeah. And Michelle, do you agree with this?
Unfortunately, not that much. I think I agree very much with Anka. We were discussing that, you know, we're not creating something new. Exactly, we're adapting to the generation Y or the new generation, but they're pretty much themselves standard on what they want and the way what to expect in a hotel. And from an experience standpoint, I think it's pretty much the same of them being, you know, together socially, breaking the barriers, and have just the minimum of a comfortable bed, a great internet, swift check-in, check-out, and the design to be cool hotel.
Yeah.
And Prachun, you just opened the first Dusit D2 in TCOM in Dubai.
That's right.
Barsha Heights.
Yes.
Could you tell me your opinion on this?
Well, actually, you know, I agree with both of them. I think, first of all, every brand has its own unique selling point and its own character. Brand positioning is different. People who actually looking for a place to stay, either for business or holidays, they know exactly what they want, okay? And it really depends on what they require during their stay. And for example, at the City 2, back to your question that you asked me, if you look into the profile of the Dusit Thani, we used to be a traditional Thai hotel company, okay? And we bring the Thai graciousness to the world. But however, in order to make it suitable for the lifestyle of what so-called the new generation Y, right, Michelle? That's what they call millennial.
Yeah, millennial.
So we adjust, you know, our service and facilities a little bit in order to be able to serve with this group of clientele. Okay, experience is something that we create for the customer, which they cannot find anywhere. You know, based on the blending of. For example, the one that I have in Dubai, I blend the Thai heritage together with Dubai heritage together nicely and deliver different experience to the world.
So, Anki, you mentioned earlier that it's all about the service that differentiates lifestyle hotels from each other. So at Vida Downtown, I mean, how do you create that service that differentiates the Vida brand, for example, from the Dusit D2 and the Aloft?
For Vida Downtown, we created a space, and it's the customer who actually makes it lifestyle. We continuously reinvent ourselves in terms of what do we offer our clients. That may vary from us teaming up with a big part of like Seoul DXB we did last year. That sort of like gives the customer a different experience. We have every year, we do Art in Vida, which is a continuously evolving art which we're presenting inside the hotel. So there's consistently something new in order to attract new customers. We have social spaces because we all know that the generation Y is looking for a human interaction. So this is what we basically do, whether that's through menus, F&B, whether that's through interactive art installations. There are quite a few things we offer regularly. We have an urban picnic brunch, which is different from a normal offer on a brunch. So these are all the experiences we are talking about when we talk lifestyle. The spaces might be very, very similar. However, it's what you make out of the spaces. How do you help your customer? What does your customer actually expect from you? And they actually make the place. So that's what we do on a daily basis, seeing what they would like and where can we come up with something new, reinventing it.
And Michelle, would you agree with that? In terms of Aloft, obviously there's thousands of Aloft properties throughout the world. How do you differentiate them from each other so that they appear to be unique experiences for the guest?
For the Aloft in Abu Dhabi, it's a bit of an easier task. Abu Dhabi is a very traditional market, and Aloft is not traditional at all. So, like Anke does convey, the brand and the social presence with art. We do it with music. So we have basically everything we convey to the guests is through music. We have a program called Live at Aloft, whereby we partner with big names. Last year we partnered with MTV, and we do some events, parties, and we try to find new young artists, music artists, and we create lots of events around it. Concert, one-to-one, backstage, and everything revolves around that, around music, on top of the normal, traditional services that a guest may find in the hotel, but all the events revolves around that.
And in terms of Airbnb, obviously, the sharing economy is something that it's growing and growing each year. And in Dubai, particularly recently, there was a change in the licensing, so it's now above board and it's becoming more and more popular in this region. Do you feel that Airbnb and similar models to that are a threat to your business, or a threat to the lifestyle hotels?
Yes and no. In a short term, maybe yes. Okay. If the customer decided to choose the place where they stay from the price point of view, yes, maybe Airbnb will be the winner. But after maybe once or twice of their stay, the one who made the final decision will be the client, whether they would like to stay in this type of accommodation or not. At the end of the day, the people who travel, they're still looking for a human touch. You either can choose to stay by yourself in the villa, standalone villa, in the apartment with no service, and the environmental is there, you cannot change anything. Or you want to stay in the hotel, whereby you still have human touch, services, pampers, recognition, and the hotel can create environment, atmosphere, and you are in community. At the end of the day, you don't want to be alone by yourself all the times, right? So I think in the long term, I don't think that is really a threat, but the short term, yes, in my personal opinion.
And Anki, would you say?
I think it's all about choices for the customer, what Kuntrachin said. You have a broader spectrum. I wouldn't call it a competition. I think it's better to partner, because looking at the Airbnb model, it's the younger generation, the generation Z almost, which eventually will grow up. Right now, it's all about risk, taking a risk, being adventurous, and eventually they will grow up and they will look for something a little bit more interaction with human, plus maybe a security aspect. So I think it's more about having choices for the traveler. There is obviously more people are traveling, so there need to be more choices. Airbnb is a lot of times about location. So, and obviously then again, it's what would you really like to have? So I do agree, it's not really a threat. I would say it's more like we need to work with them.
Right. And I'm sorry to add on that, but security is another point of concern, and also the quality assurance. Whereas when you stay in the hotel, the security is there, quality is there. But with Airbnb, think about it, they don't even have security, no quality assurance, hygiene. Nobody can guarantee, right?
Do you think that lifestyle brands are trying to compete with the likes of Airbnb through offering more authentic experiences, more local connectivity, things like that? Michelle?
I think, yeah, you have lots of brands now, or nearly all the lifestyle brands, with all the services that traditionally you will call the concierge services or curators or anything. They try as much as possible to respond to guest need, or to anticipate. Even before the guest even is arriving, you have lots of suggestion where to go out, what to see, where to eat. It's surprising to see that some of our brands, for example, are recommending to guests forthcoming guests coming to our hotels, where to go and eat outside. What are the little gems of the city, and not being shy of telling the guests, yes, we do have restaurants. However, if you want to experience something authentic and even more local, you can go to this and this and this restaurant. So I think the barrier now is being broken, and it was tough for us first to understand that no, we wanted to be protective and have our guests only for us, but we realized that if we want to have the rooms business and eventually some incremental on food and beverage, we have to open up and be fair because the guest is knowledgeable and looking for something, you know, indigenous, and it is very important to make sure that we respect that from a guest perspective and not trying just to retain him in a big beige box traditional hotel.
And I mean, how do you go about staff training in order to make sure that your staff are delivering this this friendly, personal experience and also delivering that local knowledge?
I think it starts from the hiring point. You hire an attitude, and then the rest comes with it. It's again the experience, and it's what the customer wants. A lot of times the customer basically does his research on the internet, but then comes to the hotel and says, what do you personally recommend? A lot of them go on recommendations. So you hire people who are willing to work, who are willing to explore, because they need to fit in your whole environment. So then it comes automatically with that.
I agree with Anke. You know, it's all to do with attitude. If we have positive attitude, it's easy for us to train them. And the most important thing is the company itself have to have a very clear vision and mission, and the core value has to be there. Okay, like whereas for us, you know, we always empower our people. After we have a proper training for them, we empower our people to do their job. And the core value for us is we care, committed, and can do. These are the core value of our company, which help us a lot. You know, once they understand that they are empowering, they know what is their capacity, when they can make decision to serve the guests, and they have that feeling of care, can do, and commit.
And do you think there are any really good examples that you know of lifestyle brands that are reimagining that lifestyle space at the moment?
Yeah, no, definitely. I think all the brands are trying to do that. Just to give a small example, at Marriott International, at the end of January, the company have announced that they've created a pop-up hotel in Los Angeles for mainly a loft and element, whereby they were getting all the information from guests that were staying in those pop-up hotels, and try to understand what is the new trend, what are the new needs for guests, and learn from them and create, you know, the new concepts of the future. In parallel, for the Element brand, the new concept will be that every 4 or 5 rooms, we're going to have like a social room, a common room, whereby, so if you're traveling with 2, 3, 4 rooms together, you can have a common, you know, sitting area, TV room, a kitchen, enjoyable area. Or if you're not traveling 3, 4 rooms together, you will meet up with other guests staying around this communal room and try to be more, you know, mixing up with them and be more social. So definitely, and I think all the other brands are doing that. And if we don't do that, then we will be left behind. So it's constantly, you know, rethinking and looking around, you know, what is happening and what the guest wants.
Okay, that's really interesting.
I agree with Michelle, because the world is evolving so fast, so you have to evolve with it. It's more what your customer would like to have and what actually their needs are. And based on this is how you progress with it as well. You just need to be more flexible, because the hospitality in the history was maybe, we were quite standardized, but this is all going with the new generation. So you're much more flexible. You see what your customer would like to have. And based on this, you create their experience. Maybe for sure to come back as well, because that's basically what it is.
The most crucial thing is you have to follow the trend and adjust your plan and strategy fast enough in order to serve this group of clientele. Thinking about it, you know, what we are doing now, if you want to be a lifestyle hotel, thinking about it, this is like for Generation Y. You have to ask yourself whether you want to serve this generation for how many years from now, right? You cannot change or reposition your hotel every 10 or 20 years. It's impossible, right? So whatever you have today, you have to look into the future and say, okay, what are we going to do 10 years and 15 years from now? If we always want to keep our hotel as a cool and hip hotel and lifestyle, you have to start to understand the generation at about 10, 15 years old at this stage. and look into the future. What do they want in 10 years from now, right? But if you want to maintain the same group of the client that you have now, what are you going to do with your hotel? My suggestion is that, this is my personal opinion, the design of the hotel on the hardware and also on the software will have to be able to adapt easily. When you invest the money next time, look at your bathroom, you look at your bedroom in terms of hardware and see 10 years from now what I can do with the existing property and facility that I have. And also with the people as well. The people that I have, will they last for the next 10 years? Will I be able to change their attitude or their mind or the way of service 10 years from now? That's something very crucial if you run in the hotel industry and if you want to be hip and cool all the time.
And is technology an important part of that as well?
Yes.
Evolving with the technology that, you know, these young kids, 10, 15-year-olds at the moment, what they're going to want in their hotel rooms in, you know, 10 years' time. Is that obviously a big consideration when it comes to the lifestyle space?
Yes.
I think that's a consideration to any space nowadays, technology. I wish I would know what happens in 5 to 10 years in technology.
Yeah, I don't know. We will be in the Stone Age by then.
And I would just like to open the floor and ask if anyone has any questions. Yes.
Have any of you stayed in Airbnb?
I didn't.
Have any of you used Airbnb?
I'd like to ask the panel if any of you have stayed at Airbnb.
To anyone?
No. No.
Unfortunately, well, unfortunately not. When you work in a hotel, in a company, you know, it's, why would you go if you have all those hotel rooms around?
Right.
We should. That's a fair point. If that's the. But
For me, okay, the reason why I choose not to stay at B&B is because of the security reasons and quality assurance. I have no confidence to stay there. How would I know that the apartment that I stay or the villa that I stay will not have a second key? Maybe the client who already checked out might have exactly the same key. It's very easy. You go and you stamp the key, you come back and you open the door again. I don't have confidence about security and quality assurance. That's why I choose not to stay in Airbnb.
I haven't, but I wouldn't mind trying it out. But I haven't.
Okay. Hello? Yeah. Any other questions? No? Within your own hotels, what are your plans for evolving the brand over the next 12 months, just in the short term?
As for the Sitani group of hotel, we currently have 4 brands: Dusit Thani, Dusit Devarana, D2, and Dusit Princess, which has different character.
These are all lifestyle brands?
The lifestyle brand is Dusit D2.
Okay.
As I mentioned earlier, where we blend the Thai hospitality to the new lifestyle. If you go to, for example, the one in Dubai or in Nairobi or Chiang Mai, you will see like very bright color, blue and pink and orange, you know, with a younger group of staff working, and they're very hip and cool with their hairs and the way they dress and the way they serve you. It's like everything quick, easy. 5 minutes you are in your room. Whereas if you go and check in at the Sitani, you have people on the floor, savadi, serve you welcome drink. So it's completely different. Okay, that's how we adjust ourselves to the new lifestyle hotel.
And Anki, are you able to share anything with what's going on at Vida over the next 12 months?
We would basically continue what we're doing already, like keeping up the different experiences in terms of art, in terms of music, different touch points with the customer. That's something we do very well, and that's what we keep on doing for the next 12 months.
Yeah.
Obviously with keeping technology in mind and evolving on the technology factor as well.
We're going to invest a lot of money in technology as well. As you mentioned, it's very important for the new generation.
Michelle?
From us, it's a mix of the two. In terms of technology, we are implementing in all the rooms. I don't know if we're going to be able to have it by the end of this year, but to be able to stream any content from a guest iPad or phone or smartphone, etc., to stream it directly on the screen. And I think this is part of, of what's the future like. Part of the thing is probably people do not want to see anymore, the standard channels. They have their own channels through their Netflix, through their account, Google, Chromecast, etc. So this is something we want to do, whereby you just mirror your context, what you want to see on your TV screen, and a lot for us in Abu Dhabi and the rest of the world with Aloft, with food and beverage. Developing, we have a refuel concept. It's like a prêt-à-manger, a grab-and-go concept. But the whole, presentation and the type of food we're offering is food in a pot, whereby it's healthy food, with kale, quinoa, avocado, all this type of new or forgotten ingredients that are now very trendy, and to make them all in one pot, easy to grab and colorful. And in terms of food, to try to move out from, we call them individual food, whereby a guest is having a sandwich on his own, and more like sharing platters where you can eat facing the others, and less, individual biting, and more sharing and more social. And to go back, the social thing, it's very, very important for us. And we believe with all the new lifestyle, the new trends, small chains, small brands, mainly in the US, it's all about sharing and sharing. So this is where we're going to.
Excellent. So it sounds like it's about giving more choice then. So
Yeah.
for individual travellers or those that want to socialise.
Right.
Is that what you're doing at your hotels as well, Anki and Hachin?
We have social spaces in Vida, and we're promoting this very much. Even for us, as I said, the Urban Picnic Brunch is a very, very casual concept where you can move around, you meet people. It's not like the classical one, yeah. So it is definitely what the generation is looking for because of the way they work, the way they travel. So they're looking for a human interaction, and that's the social space where you do business. People can work from anywhere, so they actually look for places where they feel safe, where they can just work and meet other people who have the same interests. So
As for us as well, moving into Dusit D2, it's completely different. In the old days, we have club lounge, right? Guests can sit there, enjoy the drink, and socialize. But with the D2, you have an open space whereby people can come with a laptop, they can work, they can have fun, they can have drink, and they can sing the song. We find a space for our client to enjoy themselves within their community and create their social network.
Excellent. Thanks very much. Yep, sure.
Yes, I do. I sing the song for my guests.
Hello, hi. The question is for everybody. I mean, the word lifestyle is so vague. It can be interpreted, say in America or in Europe or Asia, depending on the demographics or the audience that you're targeting. Do you believe or do you think there will be a risk in the definition of lifestyle hotels by different companies? Technology is for sure one of the common denominator that everybody is looking for. Social interaction for sure. We could compare it to, for instance, a traditional hotel or a modern hotel, modern experience, or a designer hotel or an art hotel. They are specifically defined. Lifestyle seems to be more subjective. What do you feel will be the risks of lifestyle definition in hotels, and how do you think you'll be able to deal with that? Thank you.
It's funny, we had the same pre-chat with Anke while listening to the first presentation. And sorry, Anke, if I may, I will relay what you were saying because it's very true. In the common market, they say that lifestyle hotels were created 17, 18, 19 years ago, and I think the biggest threat is that the lifestyle which is vague, any concept that is given to a brand or a group, the big threat is that you create it somewhere in the world, let's say the US or Asia, and you try to replicate exactly the same everywhere in the world, and you cannot do that. Some things are created, let's say, in the US, you cannot do them in Asia.
Yeah.
Some things you cannot do them here because of culture, because of religious, because of everything. So lifestyle, yes, it's more of an undercover of design, modern and cool, but it's an ever evolving. So initially lifestyle was to have, for example, a specific bed for a specific brand, no, or having, you know, a specific bathroom for a specific brand, and then evolving it into making it more cool, etc., and creating. At the end of the day, it's just creating experience. And I think that us or the hotel managers or the management or hotel owners they have to make sure that anything we do would respect the aim of what they want to do, but that is easily achievable and implementable wherever you are in the world. And this is, as you say, it's a threat because it can be anything that is lifestyle. Like you say, a Mediterranean restaurant or Italian restaurant. It can be northern, southern, it can be pizza, it can be anything. So this is up to every operator to make sure that what they want to convey, because you can convey music, for example, or art in so many ways, being aggressive or too edgy, you know, and this is where we have to make sure that we respect local, you know, local culture or local clientele, and making sure we're doing it, but without, going overboard. And this is a thin line.
Okay. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I think we're out of time now. But thank you very much for attending, and thank you to the panelists.
Thank you.
Thank you.
ขอบคุณค่ะ Thank you